So we're discussing ad hoc the resource leveling function. Guys, feel free to ask questions. You're not prohibited from that just because I'm recording. So what we have here is we have two instances of resource over allocation. Okay, so the one delegate asked for general resource leveling. And in that case, what one would do is you would need to go to resource and go to your leveling options. And on your leveling options, you can set a whole lot of options. Automatic versus manual. So, Anish, I'm thinking though you might want to choose that and play around with that. Okay. Peer leveling values before leveling, level the entire project. Okay, level can adjust individual assignments on a task. Okay, and click on OK. So there's the settings. Then we choose all tasks. It may not work. Okay, so we go to level resource. We're leveling all resources there. Level now, and look, it's done that, Anish. But just remember, it has altered off the baseline. Okay, I'm not sure I saved a baseline with this one, but let's look. Yes, I did. There we go. So we have altered off the baseline. That, according to MS Project, Anish, is in fact the optimal, but you do pay a price. Okay, so everything has been leveled. Okay, but you can, I'm going to undo that now. Okay, undo again. There we go. So we still have our problems. You can then go on an individual basis and you can go to resource over here and you can level the selection and it will level the selection. Once again, there's a price to pay. All right. It's going to either be scheduling. It's normally going to be scheduling. And that probably affects your cost to a degree as well. Once again, guys, just to show you how do I see the problem, and I know this is MS Project, but this will pertain to project management in general. How do I see the problem? The best way to see the problem is to split the screen into details on the bottom, to then select the resource, the over allocated selection, and then to activate your resource graph. Okay, there's your resource graph. No, sorry, big mistake. Okay, I always tell my delegates, activate the bottom screen first. Okay, so let's activate the bottom screen first. Yeah, activate the bottom screen first, and now change the bottom screen to the resource graph. Okay, and once we can see the resource graph there, we click on the disaffected resource or the task that is affected by the resource. We can see we only have one unit of researcher one. We need a double. And so it's plain and obvious to me that it's because they're running in a start-to-start relationship, if you recall from scheduling, that I'm stretching this researcher one far too much. Okay, now at a very advanced level, Anish, one can do this. Okay, you would go to resource usage and you would contour him. Okay, we talk about contouring him. Okay, so we go here to researcher one. Well, writer one is over allocated, as you can see. Researcher one is over allocated, and he is over allocated at a certain point. We'll have to find that. It'll be red. Okay, so I'm scrolling to task, and it's clear here 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours. Hence the red 16 hours there in one day. Poor fellow, he has to work 16 hours. Okay, on literature search and internet search. Now, if you double click that, okay, you can contour. The contour is currently flat. Okay, you can backload, front load, double peak, early peak, late peak, belt. So you see what happens is it will spread the hours out. Okay, it might not solve the problem, but look what it does. This is just an option. This is manual stuff. So look here. Okay, so what we've got is 0.97 hours, 2.37 hours. It's backloaded it. Okay, back being toward the end of the task. There we go. Split him up there. There we go. It still hasn't solved the problem though. You might want to go there and contour that as well. Notice the contour has been indicated on the left-hand side as well. So what I've shown you is firstly to level the entire project, which is really what Anish asked me. Okay, and that you would need to select all your tasks, okay, and then click on resource. So you select all your tasks, and then you go to resource, and then you level resource for the entire project, and it'll choose all your resources, and it'll then level. But just remember, there's a price to pay on that, okay? Obviously, you're going to do it before you baseline and save your project plan, all right? Just notice here, by the way, guys, just introducing something that you don't really need to learn, but it'll be handy for you. This is called slippage. You see that? Slippage. These tasks have all slipped by that amount of days. Okay? All right. That means you're off your baseline. Okay? All right. There we go.
Carl, that guy can work that Saturday and Sunday. I think he's off then.
Okay, good point. Absolutely. So we can change his calendar. Now, what you would do there, and once again, I mean, you guys are ripe for MS Project, I must say. In fact, some of you know quite a lot, it seems to me, about MS Project. But what we have then is we go to our, who's at the, let's go to my Gantt chart. That's much easier. Okay, so there we go. Researcher 1. If I go to my researcher over here and I double click researcher 1, and let's just look at those dates, guys. Thursday. Okay, all right. I've got so many views here that I can't find my Gantt chart. Okay, I can quick fire to my Gantt chart there. No, that's detail Gantt. I want my Gantt chart. Okay, so guys, which Saturday and Sunday is that? So we're talking, oh, by the way, this is long ago, guys. This is 2005. Okay, all right. So we're looking at the 8th and 9th, okay, of October 2005. Okay. Okay, 8th and 9th of October 2005. So what we would do then is we
Or
would
you can
go.
shift. Sorry, Carl. Why
Yes.
don't you just shift it to the 1st and the 2nd? Then that whole line is following.
So you
1st and
mean
2nd of October.
you want to pull it back? Okay. All right. Or the 3rd and the 4th even, because that's
No,
during
the
school.
1st and the 2nd.
Or the weekend of the
Previous
1st
week.
and the 2nd.
Yeah.
The previous weekend.
Or,
Okay. To move that task, is that what you're suggesting? All the way there.
yeah, if you can.
Okay. All
Because the
right.
researcher 1 is starting on top and then it's following the researcher 1 all the time.
Correct. Okay. All right. Now it's not letting me because there is a constraint. Okay. We would have to remove the constraint, but that's fine. You can play with that. So you go to constraint start no earlier than. I can go to as soon as possible again. So there's my constraint, but it'll still complain, I think, if I try and do that. Yeah, it puts the constraint in. Okay, but yes, your idea is good. We can play around with that. We can move them around, etc. What MS Project sometimes does, guys, is split the task. So it'll put him on that day, it'll split the task and then make him carry on after that. MS Project sometimes suggests that. But the kinds of methods that you guys are talking about are exactly what we covered 2 days ago, if you recall, 2 or 3 days ago. Okay, and those are these. Okay, so you're talking manual. Adjust relationships. That's exactly what Andre has just suggested, or was it, I don't know if it was Carlo or Andre. Okay, and then increase the maximum amount of, so we simply go and get another researcher, assign a different resource, we go and get someone else. Okay, and then number 4 is allow overtime. So this is the Saturday, 4 and 5 are the Saturday, Sunday option. Okay, and for that you would need to change their calendar, and changing their calendar, you would simply double click, change working time. Okay, unfortunately we're on 22, we have to go back to 2005, but then we would simply go to the weekend, we would go to work weeks, default, that particular date, okay, details, okay, and on the Sunday we would make it a working time. There we go, Sunday, and we would make Saturday a working time as well. Set these days to these working times. So 0, 800, etc. So you guys can see now how you make their time working during that time. So you would have to double click the resource. But this is pure MS Project training. But these are the different methods of leveling resources. Okay, let me stop the recording.